Hello, everyone. Welcome to Corruption of Salone, Chapter 3, Epsilon's Son. We pick up today, episode 14, and we have a lovely group of players. We have Aurora,
Heyo.
and we have Karik, our druid,
Hello.
Lokar, our now glossy-eyed barbarian monk,
Yep, that's me.
and we have Nissa, our wonderful warlock of souls.
Hello.
And
I am indeed a wonderful warlock.
wonderful warlock for now, with many a secret.
Yes.
And to bring you into episode 14. Episode 13, we began in a bit of a tense situation, shall we say, where Nissa, the ever-willing volunteer, squeezed through a hole made by Lokar into an inner chamber on the lowest level of the iron mines. And in whichever way you choose to rationalize it, she moved out of line of sight from the rest of you without responding to your insistent calls. And so, you rushed to her rescue, with Kalik basically blowing open the collapsed tunnel with a thunder wave. And pouring into the cavern, you saw that of an abominable blight, a cursed disease, a corruption of Mother Nature herself, an enormous wall of vines that seemed to move by themselves with a sickly glow and covered in putrescent ichor. Yet, as Aurora casted her newly gifted drift globe into the center of the cave and invoking the daylight spell from it, this was the least of your worries. There, you saw a corruption-fueled entity complete with butcher's cleaver and hook, performing infernal rituals on the poor souls of the mine, including that of Ida, the missing girl of the mine orphans. And with a hope to spring into battle, you charge forth, fighting mind and soul against a creature that would see you all sacrificed to his hidden god. Through tooth and nail, vine and curse, you prevailed as champions of the mine, and with a final blow from Aurora, collapsing the butcher of the mines, in his dying, blood-filled breath, he calls out his final plea: to not forsake his life, and to take those that have taken his. At that moment, the mine rumbled in response to the the movement of the agitated vines twitch. And the call reverberating around the lower level of the mines reanimates the dead, and their moans echo the halls once more. Jumping to your duties, Lokar snaps off the head of the mother Ankeg lying dead in the corner of the space. Nissa rips the curious apron off the butcher, and you all scuttle away with the rescue child and the remains of your life quickly back to your safe haven, where you have to pick up another two children that you have rescued. All the while, seeing the reanimation of all that you have slain as you pass by. Submitting the head to the lift and the guards above, you brace yourselves to stand against the oncoming horde, fighting for your lives, side by side, companion to companion. You stand long enough for the lift to return, and with a collective movement, you ascend intact. And as the moans of the undead minor horde slowly fade to the mechanical clanging of the lift, you look around at your exhaustion and blood-covered companions and ask, what have you left for the guards at the top that supposedly await you? And hatching a single plan of Karik turning into a mouse, you reach the top, where a single guard greets you with a message of simply do what you will. It is too late for me. It is too late for us. And there we begin. Episode 14.
When he says that, Lokar isn't really in the mood of talking to him, really. But he's going to try to see if he can figure out what happened. Like he probably rushes up and like takes a look around.
Sure. You can see without a perception check that the light is still there, but with your newfound dark vision that helps raise the dim light into more of a perceivable light. You can see that there is smears of green acidic blood dragging from the lift down southeastwards towards the exit. A liquid that you are now familiar with, that of the Mother Ankeg.
Well, it looks like they dragged the head of the monster away. I'm gonna turn to this guy here and just go, what the fuck happened?
He looks at you solemnly through his visor and says, "Oh, guess I should have been quicker. What with the need for iron? Although in retrospect, I guess we could have helped more. That don't mean nothing for nothing right now.
Oh, you don't say.
Everyone's outside, and I suggest you make yourself seen rather than be hunted down. He ain't too pleased, and it ain't going well for neither of us. Mark my words."
Who's
He's gonna-
outside, Guardsman?
Yeah.
He
Who's exactly?
he simply gestures towards the entrance and says, "See for yourself."
She turns to Aurora. Do you think it'll be him? Do you think it'll be Karlach? Do you think it'll be him?
I'll praise
I don't
Lord
know.
Karlach.
I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm not hoping it is. What if it's the one in the hood that took me to the tent and wanted to buy me?
Guardsman, what is your punishment?
I'm here to, well, for now, escort you outside. I don't know.
Happening to these children.
What was that, sorry?
No, I'm just Nisa's just asking what will happen to the children.
The guard looks at the girls who are like covered in grime and dirt, and he just like looks around the corner and says, "Oh, them can go outside too."
Why don't we
I'm sorry,
keep
what was
them here for now?
Karlach outside, then if we hide anything from him, he will discover it.
It's fine. They don't really have to take part of whatever happened, so I don't think that makes sense for them to be there.
If it really is Karlach out there, he's just gonna get an earful, you know?
It'll be your skeleton he puppets, not mine.
That would be cool. Anyway, yeah, the kids.
They sort of
We-
like sheepishly exit, and I think at this point it's prudent to ask a question of our dear druid. What do, Mr. Noskowitz?
Well, I said at the end of last time that I like scurried up the bottom of Aurora's like pant leg, and I'm just kind of like hanging out down there next to her boot, just observing.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, you
hanging
did.
out
You,
on.
Are you trying to remain undetected, or are you trying
Yes.
to? Okay. I need you to roll a stealth,
I
and
should
I
probably.
will in
Are
the
we just gonna
monster.
use?
Yep.
Sorry.
I will in the monster menagerie channel.
Uh-huh.
I will just use. I'm not sure if I can do mouse. Okay, I can't use
I've got
mouse.
the stats for rat pulled up.
Yeah, I'll put rat in.
Okay.
There you go.
Do you get any benefit from being like really small and something you don't look for?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Maybe
like,
advantage or something, or like easier to see.
well, the
yeah.
DC
Also,
will change depending because it's like common. So roll a stealth as a rat.
also the god is kind of distracted.
No
So
bonus, so just a straight d20.
13. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, the guard is more paying more attention to the humanoids in the group, especially Lokar. He's like looking out the side of his eye. He says, as you're like all holding weapons, and says, "Look, it's not really my place anymore, but you probably want to, you know, put them down."
my guy, who 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 is gonna guarantee that once we step out of this mine, we're not gonna just get arrested again and thrown back into the slave pens?
We're slaves. That's exactly what will happen.
I'm not going back there, Aurora. I'm not. I don't know about you, but I'm not.
Is there any punishment?
Yeah, I've been punished enough, and I'm still here. The hole they put me in wasn't deep enough. I'm crawling back out.
I'm not really gonna tell you what you want to do. Look, if it was me, well, I would go outside and see what's what for sure. But maybe if it's just me, I would just like, you know, I don't have weapons on me now, and there's a reason for that. So, look, all things
All right.
considered, what are your options? I mean, and I'm all ears for these options because, truth be told, I don't want to go out there either. But where else are we gonna go?
Not down, that's for sure.
Suicide.
Yeah. All right. As long as, you know, the kids stay
Where's-
safe.
Where's the boy? Did they take him as well?
He's outside
Yeah.
already.
Outside. Okay, Nisa just takes her dagger and her hand axe and drops them at the guard's feet.
Hmm.
And then shows him her bare hands and goes, "Nothing else on me."
Roger, well, less. And he looks to um, the rest of you.
I have dropped the hand axe and javelin stuff that I had on me,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have a weapon on me right now. It's like,
Don't you have an axe? Battle axe?
yep, but I moved it into the bag of the heavy sack,
Okay.
so it's not on me. Can't see it. It's in the
And you carry the
bag.
bag?
Hehe.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, I guess I'll
mhm.
hand my items to you, Lokar, and put them in the bag as well.
Just as you start handing your weapons, just as you begin to go that way, the guard who is basically watching you will like sort of croons his neck to see what you're doing.
making an effort to hide it.
All right, so you in front
My
of him.
battle axe,
you-
I kind of tried to do it as he was talking, and then just pretended to remove all the other weapons I had, so it looked like I was removing stuff. But yeah, if Aurora gives it to me, then
Yeah, you're gonna
Um,
call attention to a bag that have like weapons disappearing inside of it, but that's your call to
Oh,
make.
no, I'll give him the drift globe and the alchemy jug, and I'll hand my weapons to the guard, or
Sure.
drop him at the feet or whatever.
Yeah, you can just drop them. Okay, so yeah, your trinkets. He barely takes notice of, and once he sees that you drop your weapons, he says, "All right," and he kneels down and starts picking up your weapons and holding them in his arms. Go on in.
as we are going out, maybe by now you've learned a hand signal or two from Lokar, and he just kind of gives a hand signal to like huddle up for a moment, like move
Mhm.
close, and he's just gonna say to everyone, "We're gonna get out of this, all right? Done a lot already. Find a moment, time, a place. Just be focused. Don't be scared. Get this, okay?"
Okay.
Not in a group. Find a place to burrow, Mr. Mouse.
That's, I know that they're changing it in the new rule set that wild shapes can speak.
No, I don't expect him to speak.
No, but the
Expect
mouse
him to obey.
is the mouse can hear for sure. You can squeak,
Yeah.
whatever you like. You can even just not even need to huddle up really, but you'll be able to like fit amongst the rail lines. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I live in London. I see this all the time. So that you can like easily find yourself a nook that lay low, and the procession goes out. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess especially to Nissa, I'm just gonna say,
Is the
Promise.
guard going also?
Yeah, he's picking up the weapons that you've dropped slowly. You know, being careful about it. He picks everything up, and he's just carrying them like in his arms in front of him.
Mm-hmm. As Aurora started stepping out, I'm like you said, jumped out and kind of hide along the rail and wait for the guard to go before I move. That way he doesn't see me, hopefully, and then try
Okay.
to tail behind a little ways.
Ha, tail behind. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That happens, and you all
Yeah.
exit. Go ahead.
yeah, just a quick thing. I'll just say to Nissa specifically, I promise to bring you back to the Veiled Alliance, and I will. All right. So don't worry.
Thank you, Lokar.
Okay. And it's been a while since you guys have seen daylight, and stepping yeah, like especially for you, Lokar, the burning of the daylight that comes from the entrance of the cave makes you all squint as the image outside takes a hot second to come into view. But as you do, let me move you to outside. Congratulations on making it outside, by the way.
We did it.
Outside, the air is thick with tension.
That's a lot of people.
Several,
My goodness.
several platoons, led by Templars, stand in formation behind a slender tiefling in formal Templar attire. Just change the music.
Nisa's just gonna look at the tiefling and go, Psh.
I can take him. Here, you exit the mine's mid monologue of sorts. His voice is cold and unyielding, and he continues to address the 3 bound and kneeling guards before him. For weeks, the heart of Epsilon has ceased to beat. The iron mines, the very source of city's strength, have been left to rot while you indulge in idleness and cowardice. Days pass by with no word, no action. So, as usual, I took it upon myself to restore what you allowed to falter. And the mines will once again produce the lifeblood that sustains us all. But your failures, they do not go unnoticed. You are but guards, and you forget your place. In the name of Kalis and the will of Kalik, our dear sorcerer king, his word is absolute. He does not tolerate weakness, nor does he suffer incompetence. You were entrusted with the task of restoring order here, of ensuring that the mines continue to serve our great city. Instead, you let them fall, and you have incurred the wrath of a king who does not forgive such failures lightly. No, far from it. An example must be made of such stupidity. You will return to Gasp, but not as Templar guards. No. For your failures, you will join the wretches in the slave pens, where the weak and the unworthy, like yourselves, are left to rot. You will find no rest, no mercy, but perhaps you will live long enough to regret your failures. Maybe even redeem yourselves, though I doubt it. The pens have a way of claiming those who cannot defend themselves, and I do not expect you to survive even a single night. One of the guards begins to shift and calls out, desperate and trembling. He pleads, please, Tithian, we did the best we could. The slaves, they're incompetent. It's their fault, I swear. But before he can finish, Tithian's patience snaps, and with a swift, brutal motion, he raises his warhammer high, and the guard's posture tightens, and he raises his hands in a futile attempt to shield himself, and Tithian calls out, "By the will of Kalik, you shall be silenced!" And his hammer glows with an ethereal glow before it comes down with a sickening crunch, and the force of the blow obliterates the guard's skull, sending a spray of blood and bone across the ground. His body crumples lifelessly. The other guards recoil in horror as they realize the severity of their actions and their fate. Tithian wipes the blood from his hammer with a disdainful sneer, his voice low and menacing as he speaks again. Let this be a further lesson to all who would dare defy the will of Kalik. There is no place in Gasp for weakness, no tolerance for failure. Now, And he gestures to the orc guard next to him. Return these arselings to the slave pens. They will find that death there is not as swift as what their comrade has received, but rest assured, it will come. The orc guard gestures to a couple of Templars who move out in military precision and each step forward. Stand behind them, grab them by their shackles, and leads them away. As the guards are dragging away the remaining failed guards, Tithian's cold eyes scan the entrance to the mines, and taking the sight of you emerging from the darkness, you see to the side the head you recovered, the chitinous skull of that massive bug. Its mandibles still slightly twitching, and you can see that some of the guards that are standing in formation are looking at that skull or head. And in the silence of Tithian's observations, you can hear some murmurs and whispers from that area of disbelief. The atmosphere grows tense further, and Tithian steps forward, his gaze locked onto you. And his gaunt figure casts like a long shadow from the burning fires of the slaves that you killed, who were already dead, from the southwest. His warhammer still at his side, stained with the blood of the fallen guard. He gestures for you all to step forward.
Lopez tries his best to like look and see, like notice if he maybe knows this person or not. But he has really trouble right now in the sun.
As I get up close enough, I will give the Templar like not the salute but a polite bow and little titsy.
Yeah, he's a tall, slender, orange-colored tieflings with horns that sweep back from his forehead, holding his slightly graying, brown, dusty hair. He has a tuft of a beard on his chin that is equally salt and pepper graying, and his garb is that of Templars, yes, but it is filled with filigree and gold edging that is far beyond what you remember seeing the other Templars like wearing. And you can also see
in my Templar armor. So.
Aurora, you know who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you do. But given that you haven't met him before and your eyesight is a bit of a weird one at the moment, Lokar, maybe can you roll me a perception check with disadvantage?
Yeah, of course I shall.
Oh God.
That's a natural one.
You don't know at this point.
Yeah. Can't really make things out right now. It's kind of like
It's
having
like
his hand like over his ear, over his eyes to like cover from the sun somehow. Best he can.
And the mouse like sort of hops along the side of by the rails. To mention, Kark, you are exhausted from your effects with this curse, so it's a slow hop, but
Yes.
nevertheless.
Yes.
The girls sort of like go around there. So as you approach, Tithian regards you. Let me just write it. Regards you. And Aurora, you can see something in his eye as you step forward. Maybe a glint of respect, perhaps? Or at the very least, a flicker of interest. Yes, you are wearing a Templar garb, but so is there are other
Well, the
armor, so,
chainmail.
the chainmail, exactly.
Yeah.
So that
What's left of it, yeah.
So do the guards. But it's like buried deep within his habitual disdain. However, you know Tithian as the High Templar. He leads the Templar Guard in Gasp, and he's been there for a number of years. And as far as you're concerned, the right hand of Kalik.
Yeah, I mean, I walk up, give a very, very formal bow, and acknowledge him as Lord Tithian. And whatever he demands from me will be given.
I'm like sure to stand a bit back.
Sure.
Yeah, Nissa as well.
Okay. As you draw closer, his expression of interest and respect hardens once more. He says, "You've done what these gods could not, apparently." He gestures towards the head of the bug. He says, "A creature like this, it would have brought the entire mine to its knees, and yet here you stand, having slain it." He pauses. His tone is firm and unyielding. "Impressive for slaves. But do not mistake this for favor. You are still slaves of Gasp. Your lives are still bound to the will of Kalik. You have performed amicably, but so should you as slaves of the mighty King Kalik. However, your actions today may have brought you a moment's reprieve from the fate that claims most in the slave pens." He leans in slightly, and he looks at each one of you, one at a time. "I was told there was one more of you. What is the fate of the shelled one?"
Sir, the turtle is dead.
Nissa will start fake crying as if she's going to kind of wipe her eyes and go, "I can't talk about it." Just to add to the lie.
Sure.
The turtle and the god that descended with us are both dead.
Magrum will
Undead,
add to
still
this
proud.
as well. Clearly, so like he was majestic. He fought for like our lives. We owe him everything. Like he's roll a performance check for your cry to see how believable it is. With advantage because you're getting help. Okay, 17, pretty good.
Oh, with advantage. So should I roll again?
Yeah, because like he's like adding to the scene here of you are upset. 21.
Ooh.
Okay, wow. Like Tithian nods, says, "Not all slaves have everything that it takes to be Kalik's own. You, slave," and he gestures to you, Aurora. "What were you saying?"
Sir, as I stated, the turtle is dead along with one of the guards that descended with us. The creature here is slain, but there are still undead in the halls of the mine. We do not know what is animating them.
Tithian furrows his brow and then looks back to the female orc Templar beside him, which you also know, Aurora. That is Doreen in her garb. Of course, you know Alabaster, and you all know an orc that was also in the bar that night, who is leading the other group of guards. Tithian turns to Doreen and says, I was led to believe this was merely an infestation issue, Doreen. Doreen responds in a very quick tone and says, Sir, these are just slaves. They don't know what they're talking about. There's more infestations. We'll find him. No idea what you're talking about with this undead situation, but we'll stamp it out for sure. Tithian turns and says, There. Are you to refute that of a Templar slave? Or are you to produce evidence of these undead?
No, sir. I merely misinterpreted what I saw.
I'm sure. Very good. He looks back and forth, and these orphan miners, I'm assuming you found them there in the mine, retrieving that what belongs to Kalik. A useful resource. God. And he gestures to the one behind you. Take them to the tent over there. We'll deal with the orphans soon enough. And the guard basically drops your weapons behind you with a clatter, does a salute, and runs at full speed as fast as he can around the minecarts, almost treading on a mouse there, but speeding around there, and says, you heard him, and ushers Breeze, Lana, and Ida over to where Trig is bound up. Tithian gestures you to step forward some more. Remember, slaves. And remember this well. Strength is the only currency that matters in Epsilon. Fail to display it, and you will share the fate of those that lay at my feet. Tossed aside, discarded like the weak and the worthless. However, continue to prove yourselves useful, and perhaps you might last a little longer. Perhaps. He nods towards the bug head behind you. He says, was that all? Or are there more?
There is another one that we slayed in the deepest part.
He almost catches his voice as you say you have slayed another one and says, well, I see that you are more than resourceful slaves than those. And he head gestures towards the burning pile of bodies in the south. Doreen, mount that skull, that head, over the entrance of the iron mines. It's a trophy now. A trophy for King Kalik and his slaves. that worked to his will, a triumph over infestation and nature. A reminder to the others of what hides in the darkness, but will always be found by Kalik. He turns his back on you as he steps away, but then, looks over his shoulders one last time and says, "You are to return to the slave pens. Clean yourselves up. We will investigate the mine further for the time being. And head towards Gasp at first light." With that, he strides away.
I'll present my arms to the nearest Templar for shackles, I suppose.
Doreen steps up to you before that happens, and she's taller than you by quite a number of inches, and looks down at you and says, "And I thought you would roll over and die in there, little human."
I am glad to change your expectations, Master Doreen.
I bet you think you're pretty clever. Surviving down there, producing a head, gaining the favor of Tithian. I bet this was your plan all along, wasn't it? You wanted me to arrest you.
I live to serve Callus, Master Doreen.
Doreen takes her shield and does like a sweeping motion to do like a trip attack on you. As she rolls a 21.
Yeah.
And she catches the back of your knee, and you hit the ground, like almost like kneeling in front of her, and says, "Don't get smart with me, human. Your just desserts are just about to come." And Doreen steps back and says, "Alabaster, take care of these ones." And she steps back and follows Tithian. And Alabaster steps forward, carrying some manacles.
While Mag is standing at the end of the little minecart there, I'm gonna hide inside his rope.
Which rope?
Robe.
His
Oh,
robe.
his robe. Okay. Oh yeah, sure. You
Yeah.
can certainly do that. He gets a little squeamish about the fact that there's a rat crawling up his robe.
He knows it's me.
Yeah, sure.
A rune above your head.
Doesn't matter if he knows it's you because it's still a freaking rat climbing up his leg. It's in my pants. It's in my pants. No, like for narrative's sake, Magrim does not see any runes above your heads at this point in time.
Also, I had a question. How long, roughly, has it been since we started up the elevator?
It's
You
been
did it
about
on the way up.
Yeah, you did it on the way up, and it takes a few minutes to go up, and it's about to have that conversation, give the weapons, have that quick conversation, and head out. It's about 10 minutes or so. So coming out here, it's been about 15 minutes, 20 minutes since the lift.
I'm good for it.
Yeah,
I know,
just make
'cause you-
sure you're.
Yeah,
Make
you're
sure you don't get spotted.
Yeah.
again. Poof! I'm back.
Yep.
I'm alive. Okay.
Barely.
Anyone else before moving on?
I guess
Mhm.
I would insight check Alabaster.
For what?
Well,
I
wanna
just
ask
want to
him.
see, like, he's like going there and shackling up Aurora.
Well, he hasn't done that yet. He's only just walked over, so
Oh.
you have some time.
Then
when-
I'll wait until then, I guess,
Oh, okay.
to do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And just read his posture.
Okay. Do like if that's what you're doing, because it relies on sight. It's gonna
Oh
be a
yeah, I
little
mean, I'm not
tricky.
gonna roll good anyways. That's what he would do.
Yeah. So insight with
Don't worry.
disadvantage.
10.
10. Okay. Blurry, but he's close by. You're getting a little used to it, and you know, it's not like it's far away. Anyone else before we move on?
No, Nisa's just.
I need
staying
him
put
to be
for now.
I need him to be close before I ask him a question. So
Okay. So what was that with Nissa?
No, I said she's just staying put and keeping as quiet as she can.
Sure.
I was going to say humanly possible, but she's not human, so
Tieflingly.
Tieflingly.
as tieflingly possible.
Yeah, for sure. You sort of like continue your performance of like, you know, catching your breath like
Yeah.
crocodile tears.
Oh, definitely.
Magrin sort of like pats you on the shoulder. It's like, there, he was a good man. You want to hear a joke?
He
No.
was a turtle.
Meanwhile, I'm just like tickling Mag's ankles.
Alabaster like walks up. You know, he's got chains jangling, and he goes up to you, Aurora, and steps, and then onto one knee in front of you.
I'll present my hands to be shackled, and I will whisper, "Commander, have I displeased you?"
Keep it quiet. Don't draw attention to yourself. As he continues to like slowly like fumble the shackles, as if like he drops it and slips a little bit, like clearly delaying time. Lokar, this at least from your insight is enough like to see that he is purposefully delaying himself. He says, "You're right where you need to be. Just hold on for a bit." And then he looks at your eyes, and you can see like under his helmet, like he has like dark circles under his eyes, and they're slightly bloodshot. And you can see, even though he has somewhat rocky skin, being a Earth Genasi, you can see that parts of it are chipped. And for lack of a better term from an Earth Genasi perspective, bruised. Now, I need you to make a fuss and be loud about it. And don't blame me for what happens next. It's like, and then he says, he shouts loudly, "Hold still, you whelp!"
I'll hold still, you traitorous hump! And I will punch him, I guess, or at least like punch the shackles out of his hand.
All right, so like you resist, you cause a scene. Yeah. It's like, still got some fight in you, have you? Oh, I'll take that out of you. And he's going to punch you. All right, but there's no force behind it. It's like it's all a play. Like it's like, you know, a play punch. But he puts some force behind it, nevertheless. does a 23, like knocks you on your chin, and whilst it is forceful enough, it doesn't do the 1 point of damage. And just as he like punches you, and he like grabs your face, and he's like holding your mouth with his rocky palm. It says like, "Speak again, slave. Speak again, and see what comes through." And you can feel, Aurora, that something is being like shoved into your mouth. Of like a paper.
As he's doing that, I'll like, since his hands are on my head, I will wrap my hands on the back of his shoulders and headbutt him.
Okay. he like stumble. Roll to headbutt. And he was just gonna take it and see like how accurate it is, because you know he's owed some punishment. 21 hits. So you headbutt Alabaster right in the nose, and you hear this, and he stumbles back, and he's slightly taken by shock. And he says, "Well, Tithian still got some fight in them. I think they'll be well worth the effort." And you can hear that the other guards start to laugh as Alabaster wipes the blood from his nose. And there seems to be a sense of like acceptance. And you can see right at the back there, I failed to mention the big ogre, who's like head and shoulders above the groups. And you can hear his laugh most of all. He's like, "Small Alabaster." And Alabaster steps forward once more and picks up the change and says, "Hold fucking still." And begins to actually do it on purpose this time. Chaining you.
I'll make a show of like struggling a little bit, but I will let him do it.
All right. And he will continue to shackle you together as per how you got here, unless any of you resist or say any otherwise.
Well, Lisa's just gonna look at Aurora and kind of go, "You told me to shut up! What the fuck?" But yeah, other than that, she's gonna comply.
All right.
Yeah, look, I'll make sure to not say anything.
Okay, fair enough. Thusly, you are all chained together once more as a chain gang, and you are just like told to sit in the corner, like what? Sit in a not in the corner, sorry, in a circle, in a group, whilst the rest of the Templar guards sort of maneuver around you. So I'll move tokens, so feel free to... Alabaster steps away after doing this, looks you all over once, lingering look towards Aurora, nods, and then turns around and steps away and shouts towards his platoon. "They're out there! Secure the mine!" And they will say, "Sir!" And the orc Templar to the south, or the southern platoon, says, "Hop to it, men! Secure the mine!" And off they go. Hut, 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 hut. And you are left alone for the moment.
We're still being like actively watched, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Not all of them have like left, but and the big ogre at the back is sort of like he's still there looking at you all, and yeah, there's enough people around. You're being actively watched for sure, but you're out of earshot.
I'll whisper to everybody else. He gave me something.
What?
It's in my mouth.
In my mouth.
Oh!
Fucking prick.
That's so cool.
You can see that the guards are all entering. Well, not all of them. Most of them are entering the mines, and there's a lot of movement around you. They're not really focused on what you're doing at this point in time. There's obviously guards around you. And Doreen and Tithian and Alabaster begin talking and gesturing towards the skull of the Mother and Cake. Anything you want to do?
I have a question, Theron. Has Nisa ever seen any of them before? I mean, Tifian and Doreen, or like the leaders? Enough for their faces to be familiar, I mean.
You roll a history. It's possible.
Okay. Quite possible.
Oh shit! Your memory
Hey.
like triggers at this point as you see the three over there gather. Whilst you've never seen Tithian, you certainly have seen Alabaster and you've seen Alabaster in the Warrens patrols. Yeah. His face is somewhat more known as being like a sort of blue earth genasi. Doreen, you're pretty sure you've never really seen before, but looking at her Templar regalia, she looks more of a higher ranking than Alabaster, but not so much more than Tithian. Less than Tithian, sorry.
Tithian
just
is Lord
to
Inquisitor.
make sure. She's just gonna turn to Aurora and go, Do you know the Tiefling? I mean,
The Lord Templar.
yeah, the orange one.
When I say the Lord Templar, I do mean Lord Templar. He's the
What
right
does that
hand of
mean?
the right hand of Calic. He
Is
runs the Templar Order.
Oh damn! I was gonna say he's kind of high.
Right. That's what people think when they think of Tithian.
Do they now? Interesting.
I wouldn't try, Nisa. He's a terribly despicable man.
Oh no,
But
no,
I do
no.
appreciate his tendency for order.
I was not. No, I mean, girl, I have standards.
They seem to be pretty low.
I have standards, but I also have eyes. You know what I mean? I can acknowledge when somebody is high, be it man or woman or whatever, or piece of rock like alabaster. But when they're a Templar, it's a no for me.
So
As
you
you
would
know.
if he wasn't a Templar, I see.
You miss out on all the chances that you don't take.
I think he's a bit older than you think.
Sorry?
Nisa, you're not
I
giving
think
me
he's a
any-
bit older than you think.
I cannot
There's
really
nothing
tell.
wrong with Silver Fox.
She's this is gonna snort like quite loudly at that. And go, oh, she gets me.
I'll have to make sure to not talk too much. A bit worried.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Take
I'm still
acknowledgement for
sad.
killing the beast if they know, if they ask. But to try and limit anything that we discovered. Only respond to exactly what they ask. I don't know
Right.
what's going on, but there seems to be disunity.
It must be something important if Calic sent his right-hand man over here to a infested mine
I mean, this
Right?
mine is what allows the Vigorette to be built, and it stopped producing. And there's no other mine that can produce. So
Gas
this mine
exists.
doesn't start producing, the Ziggurat can't be finished, and that would make color.
Well, if those guards, and she's gonna point at the guards over here at the entrance.
Hmm.
Don't point.
Those guards.
That's immediate, like, hands on her arm as she tries to lift them.
If those guards really go down there, they'll be losing a fucking garrison.
Good.
Well,
Yeah, no,
I mean, it would be easy to, run away, but they probably don't want to run away. So, yeah.
People are lying to Tithian about what's going on in the mines, and there's something wrong. You don't lie to Tithian and expect to get away with it. The fact that Doreen is sitting there not knowing the entire situation and turns around and defends herself is signs of communication. So, no, more than that.
I don't
Something
think,
like this at the mines shouldn't happen with the Templars. That's why we're here.
what do you think? What do you think? The paper that Alabaster put in your mouth says.
I'm trying to keep my mouth as dry as possible. I'll find out when we have an opportunity.
Make a perception check,
Wait.
Aurora.
Sure.
Oh God. Okay. This is more about a period of time. Like you look around, there's like the camp seems to be alive with guards running back and forth. You can see Tithian and Doreen move over to the children. Alabaster is like gone away. They've had their conversation. There is a moment in time where you feel like no one is really paying too much attention to you as you're all chained together. For you to, you could take the paper out of your mouth successfully without being seen.
Yeah, okay, well.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, let's go ahead and read it. Commit it to memory.
Oh, right, you want to open it. Okay. Well, as you like sort of spit it out, it is a folded up piece of parchment paper. And it is fairly decent quality paper. And I will... Are you going to open it right now?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
seems to be intent.
Okay. Okay. I will give you access to the thing then. Edit. Aurora. There you go.
Man, the text is so small.
You can click on it to zoom it. You can read it for the class if you want, but obviously metagaming.
Yeah, I
We
will
just show it
read-
around so we can all read it.
Well, it's actually pretty long, so. But yeah, I would go ahead and just share it with everybody because I have no intention of hiding it.
Okay.
So.
Then I'll show it to everyone. But for the stream, feel free to read it out loud.
Aurora, I have looked beyond my feelings and seen the truth. Your joining the Templars was a mistake. A human does not fit together with the Order in Gurs, nor as a guardian of Kalik. I see that now, in your interest in your other foreigners, and their customs, such as Elvish, have not helped your plight. I have sought order from the High Templars, their answer carried by Alabaster to ensure it reaches you. As a Templar, you are now discharged from the service. You can't continue to disgrace the family name, and you will be left in secret from everyone who knows you. I know you will be angry, and if you tear this letter up, I will understand. I hope that perhaps in bondage you will find love for the city and serve Kalik better than you have been being my daughter. If you must fail me, at least you will not fail our king. Have faith in him, and you will find your strength, for you will no longer find this at our house. All praise and glory to Kalik. my father.
I think
Shit.
if you let Lokar read it, he seems to get a little bit angry for
Yeah,
passing it on.
Nissa too. Yeah, she gets visibly upset at the letter and kind of whispers, "Uh, this is a load of bullshit. They basically just disown you."
I think
This is yeah.
the beating, like you can almost hear the heartbeat of like Aurora, but she doesn't really say anything. It's a lot to take in.
Right, just probably, maybe, just another person to add to my list. Can I add him to my list, Aurora?
I hope you understand what I meant when I said they won't want a human in the Templars.
Yeah, we kind of knew, but now that they're actually saying it and sending the letter over to their daughter, it feels
I'm sure
wrong.
your father was. I mean, I don't know your father. Maybe this is
A
hypothetical,
prick.
Shut
but
up.
he could also be easily been forced to write something like that to show his faith and his longing to Kellic, because he too is a human.
Yes.
So
Could also be that he's doing it to keep you safe.
doesn't really matter. It just shows the reality. Doesn't matter who told him, if he was himself or something else.
Pepper,
Yep.
can you please roll me a insight for Magram?
Yes, sir.
Since
13.
you mentioned that you passed it around Aurora.
Yeah.
And Magram like says, "Wow, it's pretty harsh words, but does your father speak Elvish?"
Not very well, no. I learned from my teacher, Goliath. Most of my language skills come from him, actually.
So, so why is there Elvish letters on this letter?
That's Elvish? I thought it was just a filigree.
I guess I'm gonna like re-look at it and start reading the Elvish parts, less distracted by it. Because I do speak Elvish.
You do. However, the Elvish parts. What are you referring to?
Is it the part surrounding the edge?
Well, with the 13, Magram points to the sort of darker black letters that are on the border, and the filigree and the edging is it's well blended in, but the darker letters they are a random set of letters as far as you can see. So they are
Is it a code?
So the letters are B A L R E T S.
Okay, I'm gonna need those in chat.
Mm-hmm. And there are 3 A's.
It's a cipher.
Alabaster. How many A's did you say there were?
Yeah,
3
3 A's.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Fuck. Ow. I'm going to hand the letter to the mouse at Magram's feet.
The cutie pie? Uh-huh.
Don't fucking lose this. It's important.
I can put it in the the haversack. That might be
They might take that.
all right. Sure.
Squeeze it between your butt cheeks.
We don't need stains on the letter.
So like, it's a mouse, right? The letter's bigger than the mouse.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty big.
Where are you gonna shove it?
It's just one of the safest places.
I guess
know.
he is. I guess he is a mouse. He's not like a rat.
He's,
I think
I'm
he's
like,
he's
I'm
got
like a
small
little
mouse.
desert mouse.
Yeah,
okay.
he's not Lemmy Winks.
Okay, in that case, it probably is safest in the haversack and put it at the bottom.
I mean,
Right.
you can also like try and hide it on yourself, I suppose, too.
Yeah, we don't have much to hide on.
I'm
Yeah,
about to
that
be
didn't
straight
stop
with
you hiding a dagger, did it, Mr. Loka?
That's true. I can hide it there also.
It's like a little kangaroo pouch now.
Yep.
I don't see a way that we can successfully hide it on our person long term. So
I'm still trying to figure out a way that I could successfully survive this long term.
Yeah, so
You
it's
just
been...
have to get away from here. Like, just move on. And
you can literally just go
Just
under the
leave.
tracks and leave, and just
yeah,
wait
you can
until
come
you
back
see
later.
us.
Like, don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't.
You know where we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you stay here, you do transform back. So yeah, I think we would also like, if no one's listening, we would tell you to get somewhere safe. And
You
know,
are our way out of the slave pens.
yeah,
Exactly.
Goddamn.
You're
or
only
maybe on the
hope,
walk. Who
Carrot.
knows what happens? But yeah,
Help me, Obi-Wan Carrick.
Yeah.
Karakobi. Alabaster comes back carrying some fresher bread and rations, and like some water skins, and dumps them at hands them to Magrim, and says, "Look like you could use these. Don't want Collick's best slaves die now, do we?" And he makes a big gesture of it, like he's like putting on a show. And when he comes around to you, Aurora, his eyes are soft, but he then looks around to the other guards, and he just like throws the bread and water skin at you, and then spits on you, and then walks away.
I'm gonna make a very loud groan and aggravated, but not actually do anything.
Okay, so you're currently secured. There's action. You have a moment here, but I guess again we come back to our dearly Mouskowitz. You starting to feel like your time is short, and if you wish to escape, you have to make a decision.
Yeah. After Alabaster came and gave everybody food, I'll start hopping down the tracks, and I guess get down here to the little corner of the tracks, and then scurry across and start like hopping up the rocks.
You can see. Well, the rocks are more like sheer than they are in terms of like little
Okay.
tiny steps, but you can see built laddering over here.
Okay.
And that they go upstairs, and you can see there's additional laddering. It's like a ways to climb up if you wish to go to the top. It'll take you a minute.
Yeah. Well
but
then, I'll, like I say, come down to the corner and then scurry across and then stay right on the like corner on the wall there. Try to stay up against it and hidden, and then head
where
up
do
the
you?
ladder.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you can for sure.
Just do a walk around. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
just to
We're gonna
avoid
do
it.
like a switch the campaign now to basically like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, where now you fight a scorpion as a mouse. But
Yes.
no one's paying attention to you. There's the mood in the camp is active and orders are barked back and forth. There's a lot of like running between guards and setting up of camp in some areas. And yeah, there's basically no one's focusing on a tiny mouse.
Cool. Yeah, I
So-
will
So where do you go?
scoot down the tracks here,
Squeak, squeak.
and then
Just
Scoot
head towards
across.
Durst, honestly.
just kind of skate right across the rock here, and then head up the ladders.
I mean, honestly, a place where you can like.
Just
Chill out.
head towards the Gerst and find somewhere off the side of the road to hide.
Let Kark make his own mousy decision.
And go make your mousy decisions.
Yep. So yeah, get up here to the track, and then I'll just follow the track the rest of the way up, I guess.
Uh huh.
Or no, there's more ladders here.
Yeah, you can exactly. You can just cut across.
Hmm.
Okay.
And let's see, is there anywhere I can hide up here
So-
in turtle form?
So like by the time you get to that, you're starting to feel that your control over your wild shape is starting to slip.
Yes.
So getting out of here unseen, despite being at the top. I should also mention that the Templars that are taking the guards are also kind of like, oh, I didn't move the tokens, but they were going to the top to take them back to Gerst, as what Tithian said. Gerst is this way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're starting to feel like you need to do something about being not seen. So what are you gonna do?
Can I see where the tracks lead off to this direction? To the right?
They lead further up the mountain.
Does it seem like a place that people probably wouldn't go? Like
Not-
these guards, they're probably going to be going back to Gerst, so
You could make an assumption that going that way, at least for these guards, without an active mine, there's no one on the tracks that way.
okay, yeah, I'll go up here then and try to find some place that I can hide as a turtle and poof back out.
For sure, for sure. Like there is a big wagon here filled with mining goods.
Yeah,
That you could
I'll get,
probably
like-
go underneath if you wanted to.
yeah, like crawl under it over to this other side, kind of behind the bushes.
Okay, so you do the Ratty Mission Impossible, and that takes you the further 20 minutes or so before your form is starting to slip, and you get just on the other side of that wagon before. I don't know. How is it like when you wild shape? Is it more like your bones crack, or is it more like a poof? Like how does it just go? How does it work?
Kind of a subtle glow, and then just like a just slow morph back into a turtle. It's kind of ugly looking, but
Okay.
you know, you get
Cool,
there in
cool.
the end.
Cool. Like 1990s
Flash.
morphonic.
Like
sort of stuff.
the Animorphs books.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
stopped in the middle, that's what it looks like.
No.
Cool. It's grotesque and everybody hates it.
Yep.
So that takes about 20 minutes for Little Mousy to disappear. And you guys can see, except for, I guess, Lokar at this point, as he's shielding his eyes, that he's scrambling up there and he disappears into the rock face. I will make another note for you, Karik, that as you remorph back to turtle form, that weight fatigue and tired, it like hits you like a rock. And I know you're set as exhausted, but you feel more so than when you were in the slave pens. Not just because of the exertion of climbing up the rock face, but more so about what you've just gone through. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Mouse did that. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Well, I'm trying to get my short rest in.
Okay. Well, it's only been about half an hour, so you sort of
Yep.
sit calmly.
And I think he just reiterates that
I need a
we'll make
nap.
sure to not talk much. He's worried. Because Tifian is a long-standing person.
Lisa's just trying to discreetly observe what these people around here are going to do or doing with the children.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, she's staying put. She's maybe also trying to get some rest in if possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just basically sitting there at this point in time, so you're catching your breath, you're feeling your pulse slower, and you watch what's going on around you. Aurora, what are you doing?
I think it's just a good point to just relax, try and get the short rest done.
Okay. Seeing as this, you're taking in everything around you, see the guards running back and forth, and there are some shouts. Eventually, 20 minutes in after sitting down, and you hear from within the mines the clanking of the lift going down, and some like shouts to say form up or we're going in, and you can hear the orc shout deeper and say we need more Templars, and there's movement to go into the mine, and then back out again as they come back, and they like reporting back to Doreen, who listens, has a look of concern on her face briefly, then looks to you guys, whispers to the guard, and he does a salute, and runs back into the mine, and he looks towards Tithian, and then back to you guys, and then goes back and starts to speak out of earshot. Tithian looks to her, does a nod, and continues speaking to the girls, the children. Sorry. The children themselves are sitting cross-legged on the ground before him. Ida is looking pretty bad, and Tithian looks to her for a minute, and then is going to go and kneel down and grab her. He grabs her chin, and tilts her head from side to side, looking at her skin. And again, there's this conversation that's out of earshot, but there are some sort of reactions from Breeze and Lana as Tithian speaks low, and there's like a couple of gasps, and then finally you hear Breeze and Lana say, "Oh no!" And Trig just sort of grabs Lana's hand and holds it tightly, and Tithian gets up, speaks to Doreen, who in turn nods, and then comes back down here to a guard, who then she gives an order. He says, "Take the half elf to Gasp right now. Quickly." And the guard looks towards Ida, and then back to Doreen, does a salute, and grabs her, not picks her up, but more like, lifts her up by her arm, and starts escorting her away. Breeze and Lana say like, "No, Ida, we just lost you. We can't have you leave again." And Ida sort of wrestles free from the guard before being taken, and says, and she kneels down to Breeze and rubs her cheek and says, there, little wind. We'll meet again. Stick with this. And he gestures towards you guys. As long as you can. They'll protect you, I'm sure. The guard grabs her, lifts her up from by her arm again, and begins escorting her out of the quarry. And Breeze starts to cry.
What the hells are they doing? Where are they taking her? Gerst? Did she say Gerst?
Yeah. Well, she's
Oh,
most important.
I'm probably gonna bring her to Kalik. She's been exposed to whatever the hells was down there when we found her. They'll want to know what. God.
We're exposed to that too. There came tentacles out of this giant insect when I...
Yeah, but they don't have to know that.
Well, now you know. Need to do something about that.
It's
Oh
at
wait,
this
do I
point
still?
that, just saying, because no one's actually actioned on it, that Lokar's eyes are jet black with burning green pupils, which are completely irregular.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know how his eyes look.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just
yeah.
noticed that it changed.
Yeah, you don't know. Lokar doesn't know anything.
Yeah. Like, maybe he can notice, like, there's a weird green flame that kind of comes out when he looks.
You don't have flame
Maybe
vision.
that's something...
You just have dark
Maybe
vision.
that's, just like a little bit light. Like,
Actually, let's
little
say
bit
that
greenish.
like your dark vision is not shades of gray, but shades of green.
Mm-hmm.
It's the true Splinter Cell experience.
Yep.
It's your night vision, like Mission Impossible style. Yeah. So Magrum also like he's like, what's happened to your eyes, big man?
I don't know. This fucker sprayed me with some shit, and suddenly the sun has become a lot harder on my eyes.
They look nice.
I disagree.
Doesn't feel nice.
No, I know you don't, but I don't know whether this is permanent or whatever, but they do look nice.
So what? Even fighting that creature made you all sick?
There was the pool. He splattered the pool on himself, and I got something in my eye, I think.
I think I got a gulp of that shit.
You
Um,
drank it.
Yeah, not very pleasant.
it wasn't her choice, Aurora.
Fair enough.
Obviously. By the way,
I mean, it could have
do I-
been your
do I
choice. I wouldn't
still-
have been surprised that much.
do I still have my And she's gonna begin searching under her neckline for the little red crystal pendant, the spellcasting focus. She's gonna begin feeling it, and she's gonna kind of close her hand around it and go, "Oh, okay, still have it, still got it, okay." She suddenly became very nervous, but as soon as she found it, she's kind of calm again, and then puts it back and goes, "Okay, I thought I lost it."
I'm not sure if we can keep stuff, but we can try to hide the haversack.
I'd rather keep it around my neck if you don't mind.
No, it's fine. I'm just speaking general terms. It
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
to mean something to you.
Yeah, if I need something and hidden or kept, I'll surely give it to you. But this, and she kind of touches her throat where the pendant is. This I have to keep close.
Yeah, you, I mean, I'm not sure this is the right moment, but you did want to tell us what the fuck is going on with you knowing about demons?
I think, yeah, I do owe you that story, but I think that story is one that's better told in a tavern with ale. Loads of ale.
Right.
You're gonna need it.
I mean, I guess I don't care as long as it doesn't endanger the rest of us.
I think there's enough
No.
alcohol in the world to drown out the horrors we've seen.
What was that?
Well, there's more of it, don't worry.
Magrum speaks up and says, I've never seen anything like what was down there. Does anyone know what it was?
An
No.
abomination that needs to be smited. The
Yeah, no-
details, I believe Tithian might know.
Will he
I bet
know?
they're never pleasant.
Is he? And she gestures to Theon and goes, "Is he?" And kind of finds it difficult to say it and goes, "Is he